So, long story short, I let him into the apartment while Brandon and I were at school, and he took pictures, and they got sent out, and we got taken away from my mom. And for the longest time, I think it took a couple months before she was able to contact us. And I was living with this guy for a while, like the guy that he knew he couldn't abuse sexually, mentally, physically like he did before because he was being watched. But he found other ways, like locking the phones up in his room so I could reach out to anybody. Like when CPS came over, he would put those little recording things in the cushions because they would come over and talk to me and like do updates and try to see how everything is, but he would let me know they're in there, and I'm a kid, so I'm scared, and I saw what he was capable of before, so I'm not going to say anything. So I'm also watching what I'm saying, which sucks because I'm also being silenced, and that wasn't cool. People that have that control, you gotta ask yourself, like, why are they talking to me this way? Did I do something to them, or is it something deeper? It's not always going to be my fault, but for the longest time, I did think it was. And up until now, actually, it took a long time to come to where I am. And I feel better now. I'm starting to see how good my superpower is. It's not really a superpower, it's common sense in my opinion, but that's just me. Everybody else is going to look at it as something different. It's like, whatever. But yeah, anyways, back to my story. So he ended up getting custody. He ended up losing custody too, but it was like it took quite a few months. Like I went through a whole entire year of high school and stuff like that. A lot of abusive things. I slept on the floor on an air mattress, but Brandon and Shania had their beds because those were his kids. I get that, but we all shared the same room, and I couldn't even have a journal because I tried journaling, and I was also seeing a therapist at the time, but I couldn't hide my journal anywhere because he knew where all my hiding spots were. I got to the point where I had to get like very crafty about it. And he still found it. And if I wrote anything in there about what a jerk he was, and that's put nicely, it didn't end well for me. This guy I could be doing nothing wrong. It's like he had a bad day. 11 years of my life, every day at work, and I already knew I was in trouble for something before he got home from work. He kept me home from school, like, we're gonna do, math problems and stuff like that. And it was when I was learning my multiplication tables. And it was when they had like there was like a sheet, and they would have like 100 problems on it, and they would time you like 5 minutes, and I'm like, holy hell, that's like, whew, that's anxiety within itself. But we had just learned the multiplication tables. Well, he asked me to get like 5 or 6 pages from my teacher, and I was like, okay, he's gonna teach me something new. No, he kept me home from school, because we lived in a duplex at the time, waited for the upstairs people to leave for work, closed all the windows. The rules were, he would time me, I had these 6 pages, any answer that I missed, he would give me a breather on certain ones if I was close, but any ones that I severely missed or I just couldn't answer, I would get whipped. But he would make me do all of those first and then add them up, and then keep reminding me that, oh, this is going to happen afterwards. And then what he did was also sit in his chair, watch his Bruce Lee movies, and I'm in his bedroom over his bed with my bare butt in the air, and because he told me to do that, waiting for him just to come in there. And yeah, it's a lot. Really messed up. He would purposely put stuff on top of, like, where my bedroom was at that time. I could see into the kitchen. Like, I used to do my laundry all the time, obviously folding. My dresser was here, and then the door to get out of the room was like over here. But I could also see over in this way, like the kitchen, and the fridge was like right over there. But he used to keep a paddle up on top of the fridge, just enough for me to be able to see it. So you best believe it got to the point where I was always, looking up there, making sure he wasn't gonna have it, or he liked to sneak attack me sometimes, and I would have to make sure that he wouldn't do that. There's times that I would notice it gone, and he would be weird and come in there and, just look that way, finish your laundry, and just out of nowhere you're just boom, 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 like for nothing. I'm doing laundry, dude. Why? Like, anxiety. People are bold. People are that messed up. My mom had to get away. She had to do what she had to do to get away from him. So things had to happen the way they did, obviously. And honestly, it's messed up, but I wouldn't change it for the world because I like who I am today. I'm very humble. I am not 100% perfect, but I learned a lot and I have a lot of experiences I can share. Sorry, my jaw. Speaking of jaw, this is what I wanted to get to. Same guy. I was an annoying kid. A lot of people obviously didn't understand the whole Asperger's autism thing, especially in the 90s. That's when I was born, 1990. And I was just an annoying kid. I was an annoying kid for adults, teachers. I was always in trouble for numerous things. It could have been just anything. But the way he dealt with it, like I said before, he liked to watch his Bruce Lee movies. Anytime that I got in the way of the TV, he'd yell at me, and I don't even really think about it because I'm just like, ooh, TV, distraction. I'm not really allowed to watch TV half the time, so I have to watch what he watches when it's on. But when I get in the way, he didn't like that very much, so you thought I was smart to punch me in the side of my face. But the thing is like the only thing I remember from all that is I did miss school for like a whole entire week. We were living, if I remember correctly, we were living in a trailer park. And when all this happened, I remember waking up the next day on the couch and everybody was gone. I was like, what? Did I fall asleep on the couch? And I went to go stand up and I was dizzy. Like I couldn't walk to the bathroom. I had to get, just getting water and it lasted for like a week. Like I missed school. And it scared me. I didn't know what that was. When I finally got better, I had to wait till afterwards and go to the library and figure out why I was dizzy, and come to find out it was probably vertigo. Another thing I vaguely remember is my mom used to jump between him and me when he used to punish me. But her defense about it was, you're hitting him too hard. Well, you're not supposed to be hitting me, period. It's not too hard. We shouldn't be negotiating something like that. That's not, what do you think, this is a treaty that we're trying to negotiate here? No. And my mom was scared, so I can't even blame her for it because I was scared. He was a scary fella. He used to, if I said something to anybody, he would threaten to harm the people I love. So yes. So yeah, that was traumatic for me. I got the punch in the face. I didn't get the help I needed. I stayed home from school. Anytime I got sick, like I was severely allergic to poison ivy, to the point to where I'd finally clear it up, but the couch that I slept on still had the poison ivy juices in it, and I would keep retracting it, and it eventually turned into Impetigo or Tygo, and that's something even dirtier than, that's literally a dirty, to me it is, because I did the research on it, and that's what I know about it, is it's literally an infection in the skin. It's kind of like staph, but it's poison ivy times a million, like to the point where my lips were swollen. I had to eat things through, like, I had to shove, it's hard to eat things. My eyes were swollen, like it looked like that, like I all the way shut. I warm compress so I can see, like Alo baths, the oatmeal baths, those helped. You learn to adapt. That's why when I say things like that, like I have a story, but I can also help you get through something. Like if you did get poison ivy, just an example, poison ivy or whatever. 1 second.